Easy. All right, here we go. Squad hang. How's life treating you, Mr. J? So last we spoke, you and I were we were talking business, sort of your business, really, and I was just kind of giving you my my critical opinion here. So, how's everything been, man? I'm kind of I heard a little rumor.
Really, what's been going on, man? Like, you know, at first it was I was sad about it at first, but I did a little bit of soul searching and just kind of looking at my situation. You know, obviously it's no secret or whatever. I've been dealing with some like health matters and things got really stressful, and there was a few things you and I talked about that I really took to mind. You know what I mean, about doing the whole right.
Right. Tough business, by the way. Very tough business to get into. Remember, it was one of the things I told you early on was like, you know, this is probably one of the hardest businesses to get into. Because you almost have to like live, breathe, eat, shit it. You know, you have to cut off everybody. You know, like you literally are going to close yourself in a warehouse. Like, you know, you're going to do some, remember Scrooge McDuck? He would close himself in the mansion and dive through his money, you know? Yeah. So eventually you would have got there, but, you know, so I mean, dude, man, I'm a big fan, you know, and I'm still pushing and I'm hoping that we can bring this out of retirement, you know? I think.
I don't mean to talk over you, man, but like,
please do.
That's what I was trying to get at right now. Is that it's funny that you mentioned that because you know when I was talking about soul searching and things like that, it's been real stressful, and I just with everything that's going on right now in the world with all this bullshit with COVID and all this just everything out there, I'm pretty much isolated to home life, and I'm like, man, this isn't healthy for me. And what it was is that I started noticing that I was kind of giving myself my own stressors, right? It's like creating your own prison, really. And I'm like, you know, let me try to safely and healthily try to, you know, just reduce these stresses, whatever. And at first I was really sad and disappointed because I'm like, you know, this business thing, especially after that conversation, you know, going back to that about, you know, that shit's sucking up your life. It just right now it's not good. Now, the nice thing about being multifaceted like you, kind sir, is that even though that may suck to some degree, that can always be revisited later on.
Sure. All right. And here's the thing. Let me jump in real quick and give you a little 2 pennies on that one. Yeah. I told you from the get, and this is something that guys like you and I don't want to say suffer for lack of a better word, suffer. Guys like you and I suffer from this. That we want to do everything ourselves. Yeah. We want to do everything from the cleaning guy, janitor jobs, all the way up to putting a roof on the building, putting the marketing on the walls, you know what I mean? Counting the money, you know, designing the website, driving the company car, you know. We're trying to be CEO, which is chief entrepreneurial other shit too, you know what I mean? Like we're trying to do everything, you know, and that's the problem I think that I've had in the past. And it's part of why I reached out to you, because I almost saw a clone of me in the past. And I was like, I remember reaching a burnout state where I reached, you know, I got to my pinnacle and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I've mastered the art part of it. Now let's hand it to the world. And it was pure burnout state. You know, it just became one of these, like, I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, like it's too much energy in this. I'm the face of the company. I'm dancing and singing, shucking and jiving, you know, hey, everybody. And then I'm in the back counting the money and I'm, you know, and it burned me out. It affected my family. You know, it affected everybody, man. It really fucked me up big time, you know. So I saw that in you. And when I had to just jump in, I'm like, oh man, I love this motherfucker. I have to go in and just at least tell him, yo, man, if there's one thing I could give you advice on is don't try to do it all yourself. Yeah. And I'm here for you if you need me. I'm not asking for anything. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, like, so I threw that at you, you know, and so now it's just like, man, now I gotta, and you know what's fucked up too is that with it being hard, with it being as hard as it is to do this on the regular, we gotta, you tried to do this during a fucking pandemic, bro. Yeah. What the fuck? Like you tried to do this during one of the hardest times for. I just went to go eat out with my daughter and my son. Right, we went to go eat Mexican food. Okay, we pull up to the spot. Legendary Amigos in Altamont. If anybody, we're kind of live right now. I keep forgetting, but if anybody out there knows Amigos in Altamont, legendary spot. The margaritas are delicious. The chimichangas are amazing. Fajitas are off the charts. Level of service, yeah. Level of service is fucking amazing. We pull up, bro, and it's like, sorry, we are closed. So we're laughing with the kids, like, oh, they'll be open in a month or whatever. Oh well, hard, boohoo, tears. My daughter turns back to me and she goes, no, the sign says they're closed permanently. And I was like, oh shit, like this is literally a like legendary 10-year plus, maybe 20-year business, gone because of COVID, bro. That was a fucking eye opener, bro. So
I can't believe that, because that was, you're right, man. The place was popping for a hot minute just to know that. And it's great that you mentioned that, because that's a strong point. Like, and thank you for bringing it up, because I had another great friend remind me, like, dude, what you're trying to do right now during these times, you have to understand, man. You're going on an incline like never before. This isn't like it was, let alone a year ago, just a year ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And going back to what you were talking about before, as far as us trying to do it our own, that's like you're drowning in many hats, man. You're so toppled up, nobody can see you. We're perfectionists, and the thing is that when it comes down to trust as far as others' abilities, it's like when you and I work together, you and I, we trust each other's level of quality, what we put into it, the integrity of the work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't say it's like very rare, but it is far and few enough out there to where it's just like, I want this to come out my way. So, I was telling my doctor the other day, you know what I mean? Like, hey, as far as my health, I can't be a doctor overnight, but with everything else, dude, step behind a computer and what do? Tutorials. You look at handbooks. You go through all kinds. So that way you could be the many hats, and whatever it is that you create and you desire comes out to be your perfect baby, what you built as a mad scientist.
Yeah.
It devours you.
We all want to be gods of our world. You know what I mean? Like it's something in our nature to want to create. We don't even have control over creation. You had a kid, I had a kid. I had a couple kids. You just can't control creation sometimes. It's an instinctual thing. And then as men, we also suffer from the whole, this is my castle. I run this shit. This is mine. You know what I mean? I don't need nobody. I got this, and that's, I don't know, maybe, it's a gift and a curse, because while it makes you headstrong and it gets you through a lot of situations, when it comes down to you trying to survive on your own, this is where it's hard to float the boat, so, but I just wanted to reach out on that, man. I was real proud of what you were doing. And I still love what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, and I saw you picking up the pencil recently and drawing again. And I was excited about that. That got me hyped up because your style, is such a unique style. I always feel like, certain, like in the old, you go to these old antique areas and they have these old sign makers and they have these old, like, you could look at the comic book industry and you have certain styles, like people can pinpoint the 80s comics. The 70s comics, the 60s comics, you have a certain energy and a style, that I think is,
thanks.
It's borders on being pop culture mixed with like some Salvador Dali Picasso shit. You know what I mean? Where some of your stuff could just be real clean cut. Yeah, that makes sense. And then other shit could just be like, oh, like this is a fucking work of art on a piece of napkin right now. Where's it at? I got you right here. You know what I mean? I got you right here. You drew that for me in high school. You know what I mean? Put it on my arm because it was that dope, It had that much, just, I don't know, something powerful about, even if you just do a line drawing, you know what I'm saying? So when I saw you go from the basics of just a pencil and paper to then letting that spill out of you with your hands and your feet and your sweat, your blood, sweat, and tears, and you're like, look at this resin-coated glass. It's made out of Mars rocks, and I glued this here, and I hot glued that, and I got a 3D printer, and I made, and it was just like, what, I used dinosaur ashes to color it, I'm like, holy shit, bro, like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, you, just as much as I enjoyed your art, I'm enjoying this other side of you that I'm seeing. So I think you're going through the struggling artist stage right now, and I think.
to just so you know what's going on with that. It's like what I was going to say a moment ago was, when I started looking deeply at things, and then after I listened to you and whatever, and like I just let's just say everything just started adding up, as far as taking things off my plate. I'm not too shy to say that things got hard, and I had to go through a reminder, and I put myself through a program to it's mental and emotional health. And the reason why I did it is because things got really hard, and then I started remembering a lot of things, and then when I started looking at it recently, it all just kind of added up, and it just summarized this thing. I just happy, right? And when do we feel happiest? We feel happy when we're children. When you're childlike, you're really not, it's just, I want to play. I want to bug out with you. I want to make this. I want to do that. And that's simply it. As you become an adult, stress comes into play. It's not just bills and then all, taking care of loved ones and all this stuff. But we start to, look at things with a little bit more shade, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, applying pressure, it can build some shade. And I'm like, no, I want to get back to the basics. I want to feel good again about it. So that's why I dropped, dude, I said, I don't want shit to do with technology like that as much. So I just made that decision where I'm like, dude, I got to go back to the pencils and the paper. Why? Because it is, even though we can create on that 3D level, right? We use technology. The hour that I plan to decide for a lot of my creations, I'm usually doing usually want to say like 25 to 50% troubleshooting or dealing with the technological parts of what happens.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? My fucking pencil is there. And reload the app or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It just goes and it comes.
It's easy. It's what it reminds me of a lot of, like when you're making a movie, and you have this whole element of like showing somebody, like if I make a YouTube video, right, and it's I go to Disney and I make an edit of me meeting Kylo Ren, let's say, which is on my YouTube page, by the way, go check it out, Flying Junkies. If you go to that, you watch it, people watch it back and they're just like, oh, cool, that's amazing, wow, and I'm sitting here going, no, you don't understand. I had to edit this scene together to make this flow. I had to recolor correct this. I had to speed ramp this. I had timing to do, then more color correction, then testing it, then uploading it. Oh no, I don't like the way the music fits here. This is too loud. They don't realize the magic. And it's almost like for you and I, we're creators. It hurts us. And no one knows what we went through, the struggle we went through to get to the top of the mountain. But in the same breath, it's a gift when they don't notice, because you don't want them to notice. You almost don't want people to notice. Tim Burton doesn't want you to know he got, a man back there adjusting a character and, and making it look like it's evil. He don't want you to know that, even though he'll release it later and he'll give you the DVD bonus footage and show you, yeah, we use wires to hold the puppets up and we sprinkled water on the guy's face to make it look like he's sweating. But they don't want you to know that stuff, They want you to know they want you to know, but the magic of it goes away when people know, so that's a tough one, because you want people to feel the magic. And I look at a lot of where you showed me, I was privileged enough to see a lot of the prototypes that you had and a lot of previews before things got painted, and that's only because I'm my settings are wrong on the 3D printer, bro. What the fuck, all right, here's what you got to do, bro. Go in here, you know what I mean? All right, thank you. And that's what you were talking about. You were talking about this tech support side of it. People don't see that it took you 6 hours to create that thing, but it also took you 6 hours to get it to get the machines up and running, and then another 6 hours to learn the knowledge to work those machines at their best. So now you've got a project that is like one thing took the time of a part-time job. It took you 24 hours, to make this thing. And there's 40 hours in a typical work week, and you're looking at it like, well, if I went to a job in 40 hours, I'd get a couple grand out of that, but here I am spending a couple grand, you know what I mean? And no one fucking knows it. And I'm only going to charge you $25 to $50 for the thing, so here I am losing. So I can see where you kind of would push, like you kind of felt like, you know what, I need to step back and reformulate. Let me pull up what makes me happy, because it's all about making me happy first, you know what I mean? And then hopefully through my happiness projecting onto this piece of art, it will go out to the world that way also. and they'll be happy about it, which will then bring my value up. And then people who want to be happy, like the people next to them, they saw, oh, you got happiness off of that piece? Well, I need to buy one of those so I could be happy, which is a lot like any company in the world,
Right.
Your boy walk up with Nikes, you're like, yo, dope Nikes, man. You look real happy. And damn, look at all the girls looking at you and the guys are envious. I need to get me some Nikes too, So you're trying to build to that level of being a Nike, in the art world, for lack of a better comparison, But so I could see that. I don't know. It's hard because I struggle with the same shit too, with that pullback, that I need to take a pause real quick and reformulate. I'm doing it now with you. I've been working so hard. I haven't had no days off, like the days I have off are busy just picking up the pieces, keeping shit running. And now it's like, I want to get back to what I love doing, what I'm saying? And I love making music. I love flying my drones. I love recording, and editing videos. I love going live. I love, the whole. So, here we are in a pandemic, and I sat at home for 6 months watching the world go Zoom, go Instagram, go Facebook Live, and never took advantage of the shit. Never took advantage of it. I use it at my job every day. Like I'm probably a pro at it now. I would be, here as opposed to here, even if I want, if I really wanted to do something. So that's why I hit you up kind of today. I was like, oh shit, like I would love to burn some. I've been asking all my people. I got other people out there that I'm like, yo, what's up? Let's go live. Let's do something live, and we keep trying to formulate and we never come to anything, and I remembered you because I was like, God damn, all we got to do is turn on the cameras and we're like, I've got $1 billion idea. All these things go hand in hand when we throw the camera on. So I wanted to hit you up, do this little test. And
no, I feel you on that. And go back to that one thing you were talking about before I forget. It's with others not recognizing the work that you put into it, you want them to. But the nice thing is that when you got someone like both of us, we click that way. So we get the admiration from somebody else that's just as technical. You know what I mean? That one human being can really make up. But still, it is the beauty of someone seeing your work, and it's so good that all they feel is the magic. They're, you know what I mean? That's all that really matters in that moment. And even though whether it was hours or thousands of dollars being invested, the enjoyment of that magic is just enough payment. And that's why we do what we do, because the thing is that it's true. It's gratification of being like, I put my heart out on that, and people really felt it. And yeah, it'd be nice for somebody to be like, yo, man, you put in some mad fucking work on that bitch. You rotoscoped and you take your putty knife that bitch up. But that
yo, my man, you said rotoscoped, and I'm like the only motherfucker that even knows what that shit means.
Because I know watch, it's like, what the fuck is that? And they're Googling that bitch right now. Like,
rotoscope.
Yeah, I've heard of a microscope. I've heard of a telescope. What's a roto?
What the hell's a rotoscope?
Yeah, dude. And the thing is that that's the magic as creators. It's just that it's nice to be able to click with someone of like kind, and that, one of the few individuals that are out there that can, that gives you the strength to keep going, because someone's like, yo, I know what you did. But then when you have an audience and and they're pleased by it, it's just the sandwich that I call it. Like, it's like an Oreo cookie, all sandwiched up the right way, to where it's just like, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to something else. But when it comes down to the other thing that you brought up, which is during this pandemic, doing the video thing, as far as doing Zoom and all these other things, and everyone else is flying by you at light speed, doing all the YouTube stuff and not taking advantage of it. Well, that's the other thing too, where, with everything that I've got going on with sketching and everything, yeah, it is going back to childlike, but that's what I want to do. I hate to say it this way, but it's like the output is greater, so I get to share.
Sure. So, well, you got to think, it's the one format, right, that you're not calibrating a machine. The most you're calibrating is your brain. You're getting your head right. You do a little whatever. You feel good. And you get your pencil. You do a little sharpening. You're like, all right, here I go. There's no 6 hours of getting the pencil to write correctly. Oh, I finally got the thing to fucking erase. Oh, fuck y'all, And here's another thing I thought about, man. This was earlier when you had mentioned something. I was thinking about the times we're in now, and why would artists like you and I, especially what you're doing, a physical thing where you're making physical product, why would it fail? Partly we're in a pandemic, but then I started thinking about big business, so like, let me give you an example. Like, you are kind of like a Disney in that you're animating, right? You're an animator, you're drawing, you're doing your thing, but then you also are creating product. And if you think about Disney, they don't just draw. You go buy Mickey Mouse dolls, statues, there's lots of keepsakes involved. People cherish their little Disney trinkets that they get from the park. And in a lot of ways, we are a lot like these big businesses, right? And think about this for a minute. This is something that I learned recently I've been dabbling in the stock market lately, right? Well, that's a whole other show. We'll talk about that later, maybe, or something. So I've been dabbling in the stock market, right? And I saw this. There's this guy I follow named the Wall Street Trapper, right? And he was like, he said, I want you guys to invest in Netflix. And he named off people like Amazon because they have Prime and Twitch and all this. He goes, I want you to invest in them and take all your money out of Disney. He goes, and I'm a dividend investor. I collect dividends on Disney. He goes, I want you to take all your money out of there now. And he goes, think about it like this. He goes, they can't fill their parks. They haven't been able to fill their parks for 6 to 8 months now. Those parks have been dead, right? They can't sell product in the store anymore, right? He goes, what's the one thing Disney for right now? And he pauses and waits, and he's like, you don't know them for going to the parks anymore. You can't ask one friend if you've been there that they'll tell you, I had a great time last weekend. It don't happen. He goes, but pay attention to what Disney did this year. They can't make money in the parks. What did they put out this year? That's a lot like Netflix. That's a lot like Amazon Prime, a lot like Facebook videos, Disney Plus. He goes, this is why I want you to pull your money out of Disney right now, because physical things like physical experiences and things like what you make physical, I made this fucking amazing look, people don't want it no more. You know what I'm saying? They don't fucking want it no more. So it's almost exciting, and it's almost depressing at the same time, because it's like, wow, that means that guys like you and I, we could start a show right now. People like go tune into Desus and Mero on HBO. We start a show. We just two talking heads on a couple of Zoom cameras. Oh my God, like look at Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's doing what we're doing right now. That means that you and I have the power of the big dogs. When Disney can't do it, when NBC, ABC, none of these people can do it, and we have the same tools, now it's a level playing field. So that's what makes it exciting. But the loss of something like, I know I got joy. You've been to Disney. Tell me you don't get pleasure and joy just from walking through the place, just from experiencing the Disney vibes. You know what I mean? Like, that's a magical thing. How can you translate that to something like this?
You're walking through imagination. That's somebody's, when you're going through that park, it's that character, that building, the trinkets that are inside that you could buy. Like, that's a smell,
a texture you touch on a wall. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. It's nostalgia from when you were a child and your parents played you Winnie the Pooh movies and shit. It's sadness when you remember like a movie that made you cry and made you happy. Those are things you can't translate into Disney Plus or Netflix or but look at Netflix. Netflix is pulling more money right now than Disney is. If you look at their quarterly reports, Netflix, who don't have a park, who don't have physical anything, like you can't even get a fucking DVD from these niggas anymore, are making more money than Disney. So you know what I mean? You got, we're moving into a strange world.
And they freaking put so much money into becoming like a major production company. I mean, fuck, man, they're getting major actors. Jamie Foxx, I still haven't seen that damn movie, but I don't know if you have. I'm dying to watch that. I'm about to relight up my subscription on that shit. And it's so funny because now Disney's following suit, like you're kind of talking about there. I just read the article on Engadget this morning, that they're putting out their newest, they don't do this shit, brand new movie, Pixar movie. It's like, I think it's called Soul.
That's right.
Straight to freaking to Disney. Come on.
I saw that. That shit's crazy.
They had to do something new. They're still following suit no matter what they do, because look, Trolls already, that was one movie that they went straight out to video on demand. So they're having to relearn. And yes, I agree. Like Netflix and other companies like that, they don't have the physical stuff, and yet they're striving during a time where so many places are failing, and it's crazy to even think that now. Yeah, we're going to save that for another time as far as talking about like stocks, but that's really what you said as far as numbers doing better.
Yeah, it's shocking.
So if you look at how long they've been putting out visual audio content, Netflix is wet behind the ears, and they're smoking them now. You know what I mean? It's just that right there. That
think about this. Think about this too, right? As Netflix, there was a time where you owned Disney properties on your platform. There was a time when you licensed Disney movies. Now they're not even giving you that, and they're still kicking their ass. It's not like Disney could hold every movie they got and go, we're gonna make all the money. No, they're still kicking their ass. You know what I mean? And that's with people pulling out of their service left and right, saying, I'm not gonna do shit with you anymore. I'm not dealing with you anymore. I can make my own money. I'm gonna start my own. I'm gonna put my own guy on the corner to sell my product. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's my street now. You know what I'm saying? That's even with that shit is failing. That's scary. So, going back to like you and your thing, I think that's, we have to factor that into why certain things aren't as successful as quickly. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of it, and you know what I love about you is that you take advantage of all mediums.
Yes, I try.
You know what I'm saying? And you did that with this company. And I think that was a good, you're onto something. I think if you keep at what you're doing, you think if you poke people long enough, they're going to remember your face. You know what I'm saying about that?
To be real with you, man, you know that I've always been scared of anything that was online. Hell, I didn't play online games. I still don't, because you know what I mean? I don't know what it was. It was just fear, dude. It was just fear. And then I started getting on the YouTube thing, and then what it was I want to showcase all of my shit that I'm making, and I started really enjoying it. And because going back to what you were just saying, being multifaceted, yeah, I did a lot with a lot of mediums. It was me using 3D lasering, engraving, 3D printing, and a bunch of other things, sketching, and then Illustrator, Photoshop, whether it was Adobe products like Premiere, or if not Lumafx on my iPad, putting video together and then doing video editing and all that stuff. I was using a lot of stuff, but I didn't find as much gratification in doing the video. And going back to the whole sketching and doing the artsy stuff, I'm able to put out content that I'm really proud of, that I really love. It's fun. I get to talk about it. I'd rather be on YouTube talking about art than honestly to be putting together, it's a beautiful, gorgeous table. It's a beautiful, gorgeous wall piece that I just made. But to me, it doesn't feel natural for me to and I don't know how. Maybe I've seen other people do it. I just don't feel like there's much entertainment, because I like to entertain people as videoing every minute or hour of the aspect of creating those things.
Yeah.
Right now, freestyling a conversation, and then maybe we can go, who knows, if we keep this up going in the future, and then we go to like, whether it's DeviantArt, or if not, going to like Procreate's website and showcasing other people's work. Like, yo, I just saw this. And
Sure. That's a brilliant idea, bro. Because you know what they say, right? You have to uplift others to uplift yourself. You can't expect to just be lifted on your own. You can't lift yourself. Try it. You can't pick yourself up off the chair. You barely can. Especially as old as we're getting, right? But you get my point. It's one of those things where by bringing other people up, they're gonna bring you up. So I like that. I like that concept. That's a great idea for a show. Almost like what we should do, right? Is we should set up a day, maybe where we do this. We go live, we talk some shit, and maybe we'll like roast artists. Like we'll pull up, DeviantArt. We'll share the screen. We'll do a screen share, and we'll be like, yo, we're gonna pull up these 5 artists. Maybe you pull 5 artists, I pull 5 artists. This way, it's a surprise for both of us. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, yo, Jay, here you go. Bam. What do you think of this? We could be like, oh, it looks like diarrhea slipped out of Taylor Swift's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, like we could sit there and go off on, on what's on the screen or something. I don't know. Yeah, like a reaction.
you're nailing it on the head. I talked about doing this with other people, and back when I was in Tennessee with you, when I was in Tennessee, which it was more difficult to do it from way up there considering where I was at, but doing something similar, and that's something that I'd always wanted to pursue. So yeah, dude, are you serious? If you ever want to get down with that, if you want to do that sometime soon, I'm all for it. That's the jump off spot for me, man. I mean,
that would be like what else I caught from your vibe, was that you were in your quest for making good art and bringing people together in your own way. You were also shining light on positivity, positive things, like you, and I told you this before. I was like, bro, you have it's a whole video all on its own. If you just critique that guy that throws the football video, remember that and he has a tragic, like his story ends in tragedy. You know what I mean? And then he gets positivity again after that and keeps doing it, like that would be cool to pepper into, like maybe we roast some art, and we highlight a positive topic and then we just rant about us, like we just catch up, you know what I'm saying? And that could be interesting, because here's the thing is I think you and I, like what you're doing right now, you're trying to find people who like your product, but at the same time, you're also trying to find someone who's like you. You know what I mean? Because you can only take your shit so far. Like you can only go so far with it where you're capped out. There's no more, you've already hit your ceiling. And even though you're at your 100%, somebody else could potentially take that to 150 very easily. And it could be because they're, maybe they've had experience for a long time in it or something. So I think by bringing that community in, like roasting them or highlighting them, that would be a way to like get that 100 to the 50, 150 mark. Yeah.
But that right there, what I'm seeing right now, what you're describing is called energy. You know what I mean? To me, that's what I'm looking for is energy. To be with someone of like kind. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be exact. It's just when a creator meets a creator, it's like, yo, what's up, dog? And the thing is that it's kind of like how, for example, like you and I over the years, it all started when, I came down here, and then when I found out that you were making beats and then rapping all that stuff, I was like, I want to see that shit. And then you evolved, you started shifting, things were changing with you, like you had different interests, and then you helped create an energy, for me, like with me, where you weren't afraid to go try different, other things, take different avenues. And there was a lot of growth in that. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty badass. And I want to do the same. I mean, I'm feeling what he's feeling. And then after that, obviously life goes on. You take your own avenues and stuff. You get introduced to other people, cultures, and other influences and stuff. And you're right. Like that's what you're talking about as far as lifting somebody else up. It's that energy. When you run into that energy, it's wonderful, the shit that it can bring. And that's really what I always wanted to do.
See, here's the thing, man. When you're saying what you're saying, right, from the perspective of, you saw something I was doing and it inspired you. The thing is that you forget that you were inspiring me at that time also. Watching you take what you saw me working with and then coming with your own ingredient. You had this keyboard, this mythical keyboard that did amazing things. It's a sampler, it's a keyboard all in one. And I have my stuff. I got my little tools here. I'm like, yeah, I'm rocking over here, but I'm at my ceiling right now. I can't go any further. And then here comes you taking it to 150 on us, woof. And it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like this motherfucker, you learn that thing, and then by doing that, your beats were inspirational. I recall plenty times where like I'm playing you a beat and then you play me a beat, and then later on I go back to make beats and I'm inspired. I'm like, yo, the way he did that, whoa, 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 chill, whoa, 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 whoa. I need that in my side. How can I figure that out on my machine? And that's where you got me to break through my ceiling. So I'm at 100, I'm already capped out, and here comes this person that's just like, I'm getting inspiration off of you, and I'm like, no, I'm getting it off of you. Next thing you know, it's 150. I'm like, damn. So that's kind of why I when I saw you doing your thing, I was like, man, I wish we could talk more, about this. And I wish we could like have a meeting once in a blue moon to talk about it, because I think just talking for a few minutes, you know what I mean? some kind of inspiration comes out of that. You know what I'm saying? I know I talked to you for a few minutes and I got 3 links I need to Google and I got to check this out, you know, and I got homework to do now, you know, you're keeping me alive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and anytime we talk, it's a powerful, you know, we're friends. So we have a buddy thing. We laugh, we joke, we can make stupid, you know, talk stupid shit with each other. And but outside of that, we're also trying to build something, you know what I mean? Which is, what is it? It's like, have you seen the show Watchmen? The Watchmen?
No, I
don't want to ruin it for you, but my boy Eric, big shout out Eric Wood. He put me on to that one. Eric Wood, love you, brother. So there's a character in there that he sees in the past, in the present, and in the future at the same time, you know? And that's when I say to you earlier, we're doing something, don't know what it is. Is that we're seeing the past, the present, and the future at the same time, you know? And we can see the future and we know the past and we're in the present. People around us are only in the present. They don't have the past. They don't have the future element. So when you and I get together, we kind of, oh, wait, this is a person from my past. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And not only that, this person is a like mind. So we see into the future. You know what I'm saying? So that just, I don't know, it's one of those elements to me that, you know what I mean?
I got to throw this on there. It's just also there's what I enjoy is the depth of thinking, you know, and it's like, and don't get me wrong, you know, because I would never want to down anyone else out there, but I can definitely say I like speaking with deep thinkers and people who are sponges, you know. There's a passion to that, to embracing the creativity, to where you're constantly looking for the education, because look, man, there's a lot of people on all different levels. Like you've got people who like to just watch. You got people who just like to just listen. You've got the people who want to learn the technical aspect just to know, hey, how is that put together? But then there's those who get into the technical aspect to be like, I want to make that shit myself. And they take it to that next level. And that's where you and I have always been, is that we've always wanted to pursue the education in order to be able to do something. So, you know, going back, like, yes, from our past, you know, we know our roots. We know we know how we influenced each other. We remember the things that we created, and in the present, we still know what we're still doing is still educating ourselves to work on that future that you're talking about. We see very similar futures because we're kind of like in the same. But I like to tell people that, like, we're on the same block. We're almost on the same street corner when it comes down to the vision, right? And that's hard. It's hard to find that.
It is hard to find that. I think that's why I keep gravitating, you know, back to you and trying to, like, you know, please pick up the phone, Jay, please. You know what I mean? Because it's, you know, I know I'm like that. I'm the kind of person that people reach out to me. People reach out to me for help or for, you know, and I'm very just reclusive and I'm very, nope, I want to do it all myself. I can't help you out. Plus, you're not going to bring me any fucking joy, any element. You're not going to pay me. You're not going to bring me creative, spiritual upliftment. You're not giving me any energy other than, you know, I'm dope and you need my shit. You know what I mean? And that shit don't fly well with me. You know what I mean? I need someone who's not looking at me like, you know, it'd be like if I was calling you right now going, yo, you know, I'm only hitting you up because I know I can get, you know, the thing you sell for $50 for $10 off of you. And other than that, don't ever call me again. You know, right. Like that's not, I don't fly with that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should have an end goal with it, and we should want to lift each other up through that. You know what I'm saying?
You're referencing that one sketch that I did and I put on Instagram, that loaf of bread, the slice. Everybody wants a piece. You know what I mean? And if you take a look, that's why I wrote everything there. Like with a lot of people, I hate to say it, it sucks that it's a lot of people, but they don't. I know that a lot of people don't really mean to do it intentionally, though. There's plenty that do, but it's right. We really, when you and I bounce off each other, we want to be able to provide to each other. It's like going to you know, arriving at a table and we're here to, you know, eat, and you bring the bread and I bring the fucking drinks.
Right.
Off of each other that way, you know, we try to provide for each other, not just like, yo, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna fuck up your dishes, I'm gonna be out.
Yeah. Like, have my side dish and bread ready, bitch. Because I know you're the dopest bread maker. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, come on, man. Now you just gassing my head up. You know? Yeah. You know, and I think the thing is, I don't want to cut nobody off from that. I don't want people to feel like, oh, you can't reach out to this guy because he's not going to help you anyways. It's just you got to approach me the right way. You know what I mean? And I'm very vibey. Like if I'm not catching the right vibe, or if I don't even got to be catching the vibe from you. It could be my vibe. It could be that I'm the problem, you know, that I'm sitting here like, I'm just not in the mood right now to help you. You know what I mean? Get to the next level. I'm sorry. You know, when I needed that, anytime I needed help, you didn't just call me on a whim. You know what I mean? Just to tell me, yo, I think what you're doing is great. If you ever need anything, let me know. You only call me when it's like, yo, I need this from you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that shit, I don't know, man. I don't fly with that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
to add on top of that, it's just a piggyback. I guess what it is that I got to know where you're standing, like where you're coming from with it, right? If somebody's coming to me and they're looking for help, genuine, like I can't do this, or if not, I don't know how, and if you could just help me figure it out, or I need this now, and if you could just please help me, like if there's good reason, if there's a good feel about it, like, yeah, you know, I want to be as much to anyone, your friend. I want to try to be, you know, help you, I want to try to rescue something there for you that maybe you're in the middle of a bind, or there's something that you can't find anyone else to provide for. Like, yeah, if I know it's coming from a good place, I want to put myself out there. But yeah, if it's the constant like, yo, hey man, I did it yesterday, and you mind? Yeah, all right, I got a piece. And like you're doing that shit Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Next thing you know, I'm seeing you and like, bro, your knuckle prints are on my door left and right. Every time I swing that bitch open, I'm like, okay, all right, I gotta slow this down.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that a lot of people that ask that of it's so funny that I had this conversation with somebody, with another person. There's people that realize the time and energy spent into what we do. And it's not as easy as just pouring a glass of water. So the thing is that you want, like, what you're doing is respected, and somebody has heart for it. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Number of like a limit of, hey, this is how many times that you can come to me about a certain
No. Because I got people that have been coming to me for years. You know what I mean? And I love those people. And they could come to me and ask me for anything in the world. And I, you know, big shout out Warheads. You know, my man's Rough could come to me for anything in the world. He knows I'll do my best, you know, within my energy. You know, people like you from the past, you know, my Flying Junkies crew, you know, the whole Realm Z family. And, you know, those people could reach out anytime. And I'm going to give them my last whatever, you know, as long as I could give it. If I can't give it, you know, you got to understand me, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's one of these, like, even though I love doing this for me, whatever that thing is, even though I love doing this for me, doesn't mean that when you come to me, I'm going to love doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people expect is that, oh, well, you love doing this, so you're going to love doing it for me. Gun to the head, I need your help. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa, you know, you got to understand, you know, this is not only that, but sometimes when you look at people's things, you know, you look at what they're making, creating, whatever it is, you know, a trinket, a video, look at the car I put together. I got, you know, this header and Weber and these, you know, there's a certain part of me that's judgmental, and that's like, yo, you need to elevate that, you know, don't bring me some subpar shit, you know. I don't know where I was going with that, but either way, you know what I mean? Either way, man, I'm here for you, cousin. Anything you need.
Bro, you know, dude, we've been doing this shit for decades, man. You know, whenever. That's why it's like, hey, you know, going back to what you were saying, that when it comes down to, like, when you're giving, if there's nothing that puts a limit on, like, if it comes from a place of love, there is no limit. You know what I mean? When you love somebody, you got love for someone, and you know that they got love for you, man, they could just come to you a million times, and there's no fatigue in that. There's no problem with it.
Right. I like that. I like that you said no fatigue. I like that. There's no fatigue in that. That's dope.
Because in the end, that even if that person cannot provide, you know, the same, there's something about that relationship that allows you to just, you know, be that open faucet. Just be like, come get water whenever you want, bro. I got you. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And ever ask of anybody is I want that feeling, that feeling invoked and that emotion to be there every time I'm working with somebody and doing anything for them, you know. So I've seen it myself from you, bro. I recall there's times where I need something and it's not even for me, it's for somebody else, and we got $0, you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, Jay, budget is zero, got no money, but this is my homie from the other side or whatever. You never met him in your life, you don't know shit about him. Can you help me? You know, and you know, 99.9% of the time, you're like, I'm there. I'm right here, B. I'm right here. Don't worry about it. I got you. You know what I mean? And, you know, and I think it's the understanding that if something did happen out of it, it's not like, oh, I got $0. After you do this for me, I'm never going to talk to you again. It's one of those like,
I'm gonna remember you. You know what I mean? You're gonna be on the founder's plaque. You know, when we build the building and there's a sign out front, you know, that tells people how to get to us. Your name's gonna be in a little scribble in the bottom. Helped us with this, you know, and on whatever level that is, you know. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, you know what's up with that, man. You know, I guess the best way to put it too is that I know where it comes from. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, man. You have given me things that have no monetary value. You've given me a lot. Like, you can't hold it. No one can pay for it. It was, whether it was knowledge, whether it was insight, whether they were just simply kind words. What I've gotten out of our relationship, there has been you can't put a dollar on that shit. So for me, that's why if you ever came to me and it was like, hey, it's for me, or if not, it's for someone I know, it's like, whoa, you ain't even did much, motherfucker. I got your back. What you need? And we just jump right, you know? So that's a blessing in its own. You know, I always got you, man.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, you recently put me in a group with some of your boys that I don't even know them in real life. You know, we talk in the group, and there was moments where we were helping each other out, you know. So, you know, those are those amazing moments when it's like, you know, and then not only that, but seeing like your people and you and all that, and we were all those past, present, and future thinkers, you know. Like, it was like, yo, I never met these guys in my life, but holy shit, like I could drop a word in the chat and they know the word and they can respond to it. Where normal people I talk to on a daily basis, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I frankly don't care. I got Netflix to watch tonight and a blunt to smoke. Bye. You know, and it's like, you know, that shit's hurtful to my creative being that there's not a lot of other people out here like us. You know what I'm saying? And I think we lack in that we don't use each other more like that. You know, and now we need to start like these little groups and clusters and crews of people that, you know, like, remember that time I came to you, right? And I said to you, Jason, I want to work with you on this business that you're doing. All I ask is just to be a consultant. I don't want to be nothing else. I'm not asking you for $1 or anything. You just let me tell you how I feel, because I never had an outside opinion from someone that could tell me, oh, from the outside looking in, this is what it looks like. This is garbage. This is good. This is better. This is where I would do differently, you know, and you could take whatever you want from it. You listen to it, take it, use it. If not, you throw it away. I wouldn't be offended, you know, and I threw a word at you, a phrase. I said, we need to be each other's accountability partners. I don't know if you remember me saying that, you know. So just recently, I've been watching YouTube, and I saw this group that I follow. They're into stock trading, and there's a guy and a girl. They're called the Come Up series, and they talk about what stocks to buy and how to get into the market, what you should look for. And what I like about them is they speak our language. Like, they talk like normal people, not like these Wall Street guys that are like, you know, they're talking in terms that are just like, I didn't go to economics college for this shit, bro. Speaking a language I can understand. And the girl in the show, she's like talking to somebody, and they're like, oh, you know, man, you've been doing real good this last week. Your numbers are up. You've been putting out more content than usual. Everything is getting, like, your set's getting better. Wow. And she's like, and she stopped them and she said, yeah, I got to give a shout out to my homegirl. She named her name. I'm just going to use a fake name, Janine or whatever. My homegirl, Janine, she's my accountability partner. And I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? I had to sit back like, well, you know, she's attributing this person to her success. You know, she's literally like, oh, you guys think it's all me. None of this was my idea. Like, I just was doing what I do every day. I'm at my ceiling, and here comes my accountability partner to knock me up 50 more points. You know what I'm saying? Right. And maybe I only get 25 of those, but I'm up above 100 right now. You know what I mean? So when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, you know, like, there's not a lot of people that know that term, and the ones that know that term, they're kind of going for the same, they're going for the same thing. They're in the same college, quote unquote. Right. So I knew right away. I was like, oh, me and this chick could sit in a room and probably bust off all day about accountability partners and YouTubes and, you know, and how to run this business and how to get this off the ground and whatever, and consult for these people. And, you know, and that was an eye opener for me at that moment, man. I was like, oh man, I knew there's a formula to it.
Dude, that word that actually came up this week in my group. So funny, man. We were sitting there and somebody mentioned that. They were like, yeah, you know what you need? You need an accountability buddy. And I'm like, Echo.
See? We're gonna hear that word more now that people are using video as a way to communicate because of the pandemic. Because this is now a way. So it's like me saying to you, you know, Jay, you could use a painting behind your head right now. You know, and all it is for your personal YouTube, personal Facebook page. But watch how many more friends are gonna thumb up your video than before. You were getting 50 thumbs up. Now that you got a Picasso behind your head, all of a sudden, damn, I got 500. And what the fuck? I'm not changing my content. I'm wearing the same shirt. You know, I didn't do anything different. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes you need that person to point out, yo, man, you know, it'd be better if you move the eggs on the plate to the left and you put the toast with a slice and some butter on top. People will appreciate that more than just throwing 2 slices on top of eggs.
Bro, off of everything that you shared with me there before, bro, I had so much more feedback, and you know me. Like I told you, I'm all about fear when it comes to online. And the feedback that I got just off of what you shared with me, you saw the quality of my content change like that.
Oh, yes.
I jumped right on board with this shit. And friends and family, and there were others that were out there that were just like, yo, that you, whatever the hell you did, it's really working. Now, granted, I'm taking a pause. I have taken a pause, but none of that was lost, brother. And that's
no, it's not. Yeah, it's not. You know what it is, Jason, is that you're reformatting right now. You know, you're going from, you know, one energy to another energy right now, and that, you know, and you're realizing that energy is harder to. It's harder to amplify the energy without having some outside forces kind of nagging and egging you on. You know, if you try to do it all yourself, you're going to fail. You're going to fail, plain and simple. There's nobody out there in this world.
Because the thing is that it went from like, I'm excited, this is going to be fun, to like, oh, fuck, man, I'm going to die. Like, dude, I swear, so much pressure. I wrote it in a damn poem, bro. I'm about to post too. In a poem, it even goes from that where like I used to be the statue of glass, and the weight of the earth, my own earth, ground me down to sand. You know what I mean? And I did it. I don't.
Whoa. Pause. I need to hear that one more time, sir. Can I get that one more time, please? That was deep. Can I get that? Can I put a request in, DJ?
Yes, sir. Remix that bitch. No, check this shit out. I've been getting into poetry again lately, man. And remember I told you, man, I'm going back towards the roots and what I used to do that used to make me happy. And I wrote a line that said, you know, I used to be a statue of glass that glistened in the sun. And eventually the weight of my own earth ground me down to sand.
That was deep, bro. See, that's you know what's ill about you? And maybe, like, I don't know if we have people even watching us because nobody gives a shit about us, but whatever, love you all. But if anybody out there is watching, you may not know this about Jason, but Jason is a rapper. And I'm talking about, when I say a rapper, this dude is like MF Doom and Redman had a baby. Is that fair? Because your flow is kind of like K-Solo and Redman going off over here, but then there's this comedic cartoon world from MF Doom on the other side, and then your voice changes. Like, you are like the ventriloquist of hip hop, bro. Hip hop hasn't had that in a long time. Like a Humpty Hump, you know, he could do, you know, 1 minute he's Shock G, you know, and he's rapping like a normal rapper, and the next minute he's, oh, people know Humpty, you know, and his voice totally fucking changes, you know what I mean? You kind of have that element to you, you know. You could put out like 3 albums with 3 different voices and name them all different, and people would think you were a different person. You know what I mean? Man.
It's actually, you know, like, I wish that I had more guts to put out stuff here over the years. Just recently, I got onto a group there on Facebook for songwriting and all this stuff, and I had some people take a listen, and they were like, "Is that all you?" It's the many faces that they weren't expecting, because some of it is, you know, comedic, some of it is dark, some of it is just straight hard, and they're like, you know, you don't just write like typical shit, and it's just always just been me, man. Like I going back to you and your, like, when I realized that you were getting into like filmmaking and all that stuff, like you have a very I love that word, multifaceted approach, and that's my mind. It's very multifaceted. I like to explore different feelings, emotions, and whether it's just like farting and fucking around type words as being basic, or if not, really getting in like really deep shit. You know, that's one thing I love, man. Thanks for pointing it out. You know, I never really have that, but you know, it's one of my things that I've become proud of.
I've seen recently, I was diving through your page, and I don't know if you hide your videos or something, but I stumbled on this video. I can't remember the name. I was going to share the screen, but it don't matter. I stumbled on your page, and there was like a whole fucking music video there that I never seen. Like you rapping, you rhyming, doing your thing, and I'm like, what the? You know, I was like, holy shit, you know, like that time you were in the hospital. You know, you made like a whole fucking epic movie out of that shit, and it wasn't even a hip hop thing. It was just this epic, like the editing and the angles and the, you know, like that, like, you know, that's the thing. Here's the shit though, is that, you know, something like that. If you were in, say, Hollywood, right, and you were making movies, a guy like you would be part of a 50-man team, you know, and you would be able to say, look, that's my 2 minutes in that movie that I made great. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to saying I made the entire fucking movie, because that's not how movies are made. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's what we tend to forget when we go into things, is that our lives are like movies, and that we are the director, but we need a DP to push the camera around. And we need the set assistants to keep the continuity right, so that the chain don't go to the left, it's to be to the right. And we need the craft services so people can eat, and trailer guys, and whatever, grips and all this other shit, and drone guys that get the aerial shots, and crane operators, It's the same as our life, and it's the same as anything we do, like what I told you with the biz when you were starting it. I was like, you're gonna need, you can't do the taxes yourself. You can't do all the research and development yourself. You can't calibrate the machines yourself. You can't draw everything yourself. You got to bring some other people in. And I wasn't the guy that, I am not creative. I don't have a creative fucking bone in me. I can't draw. I can't chisel. I can't do anything but, make fuck things up and break shit. But, I knew that we could find those people. I knew if we try hard enough, we could locate those people, you know what I'm saying, and bring them. They would come to us, at the very least. They would just come to us on some, Right
now, man, I could definitely say that, I'm glad that we're doing this video. I really hope that, you and I do wind up going further, because I really have always felt like what you're describing here right now. A few thoughts coming to mind, like, hey, you talked about this stuff, and I had to live it through. I lived it, and it was an experience I had to go through, because hearing it and living the reality are two totally different things. And you begin to embrace the education and anything that goes with it when you live it through. Also, I knew that I've always felt that if you and I, because, even though you were like, oh, I don't do anything creative, that I was like, dude, you're fucking amazing at all shit. So I always just, man, think about that shit. That's like being in a motherfucking like RPG game, MMORP, whatever the fuck, where like, got your magician, and then you got your fucking like your battle guy, and then you got like your
right.
Everyone doesn't just have that one trick up their sleeve. There's usually like a few things that they wind up doing. So you're really hitting the battlefield with so much more, not I guess weaponry and ammunition, that it winds up, you start attracting more people to jump on your team. Like, I want to get on your server and shit. Yeah. So that right there. What I've always felt, that if you and I were to put out stuff regular enough, that people were to see, like, hey man, I'm like, I like the little fucking playground you got over there. You mind if I come over there and play on the fucking swing set? I'm like, oh yeah, really? Yeah. Oh man, I throw softball like a bitch. Bless your ass on dodgeball, bitch. Like, acting more people in your team, and that's what I'd always hope for, and it's just like you bringing that up as far as enlightening me on needing a team situation, even though I had to live it through. You fed me something that I got to chew on, and I got to digest, and I went through the motions of living it through. We do that for each other. You know what I mean? Whether there's something that maybe you wanted, that you needed to hear, or if not, something that you had questions about, need to learn, or whatever. And that's the beauty of that. I hope we get to see that going forward. That would be fun.
Yeah, me too. That would be one of my end goals too out of this whole thing. Would be to see something come forward out of that. I think it's like, I was thinking of like an analogy to say, it's like a basketball player who's been playing in his alleyway by himself for 10 years, and he's the dopest fucking dunking 3-point hitter in the game, but nobody ever seen him play. Nobody ever seen him dribble, and then he shows up one day to the court to try to fuck shit up. And nobody wants to pick him for the team because they don't know him. And that's you and me. We're building, we're working on our dribbles, our layups, our 3-pointers, but nobody knows. Nobody has a fucking clue, you know what I mean? So then when we come up, we're like, hey guys, can I be on your team? You know, people are like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like, we've been working over here forever, you know what I'm saying? And you just show up out of nowhere, you know? And then we got to prove and prod and look, I can do that, you know? And then the problem with that is that people then see you as a beggar and they go, well, I'll just use you for what I need you for and dump you off because you're not really a team player, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, that's I think what we suffer from is that we've been in an alley for too long, you know, practicing getting shit right. You know, like we have so many fucking tools at our disposal, that things that we've mastered and learned. And I know I've talked to you about things and you talk to me, and like there's just the level of things we know is beyond, you know, like the average college student nowadays, you know what I'm saying? On the amount of things that we're absorbing into our brain and putting out. And, like, you know, like I know like the amount of hours I put in, just let's just say just to 3D printing, not even talking drones, not talking music, you know, work things, you know, technical support, computers, whatever, not even talking about any of that, you know, just what was I saying?
Talking about like exposure, you know what I mean? Like as far as you know, the things that like you were going back to your basketball reference, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was touching on like the things that are, you know, I was talking about one-off things, you know, like becoming okay, I remember now. The amount of time and energy that I put into just learning to master how a 3D printer works, to get it to print right, was, if I had to put hours on it, you're talking 500 hours. And that's not printing. That's just learning how to work it and fucking up and failing and going on, watching and learning and going to and asking questions and, you know, trial and error and getting a second machine and fucking up that one and trying to, you know, like just learning that was such a drain on my soul. You know what I'm saying? And then people go, can you print me something? You know, and it's like, sure, you know, yeah, what do you want? You know? And then you tell them, you know, well, plastic costs money, you know, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, never mind. You know, I don't want it anymore. You know, like you weren't there for the 500 hours sweat session trying to figure this out. You have no idea of the value because you live in America where people throw plastic lids away like it ain't shit. Plastic is plastic. Who gives a fuck, you know? So, you know, I think we need to educate people.
Yeah, dude, it's been like, I feel you, man. It's like being devalued because of lack of knowledge of what the fuck it takes. It's like I remember, we'll just say in an employment situation, I had my superior say, oh yeah, you know, I used to want to be a graphic designer until I found out there that, you know, there was really not a lot of money being paid. I was like, don't devalue shit because you weren't brave enough, because there's motherfuckers that are facing a lot of lucrative freaking situations. Just because you know you lack in your own fucking way, don't piss on somebody else's dream. You're right. You know why you're right about that? That person is miseducated. You know why? I found out in a weird way about graphic artists and how, you know, their struggle is, I want to make my own comic book, I want to make my own anime, and I can die happy. You know, I want to be the next Miyazaki and I'll be so happy. But when I got a job, I worked at Bright House Networks. I was working in there. So Bright House has a division called Bright House Media Strategies, right? Bright House is now Spectrum, by the way. But Bright House Media Strategies was their advertising division. They were the ones that filmed commercials. They would do graphic arts, right? So I worked in IT. I was working IT. I would do their ad insertions. It's basically a bunch of servers feed ads to commercials at the right time. So your favorite TV show is playing, it knows I need to feed this commercial here, that commercial there, this commercial here, right? It was the first time walking around this building that I saw a business, a real actual business that makes money, that they sell basically internet, cable TV, and phone. They also have this side hustle of doing advertisements, right? And I got to see creative types that were in studios, making videos, editing. I got to be in those studios. I got to work the DAT machines, the tape machines, tape to tape conversions. They started to realize I had a talent for this. They put me to work out of the IT department. I was sitting think tanks creating commercials for car dealerships. All right, this is what the script should say, Frank. Everybody, there's 10 people in the room. What do you guys think? And we come up with funny shit. It was like being on an SNL, you know, Saturday Night Live, being a writer, you know. I got to see all these. It was the first time being at a corporate job that I got to see that. And one day I keep bumping into this guy named Andrew
bald head guy, real tall, you know, white guy that's just like, hey man, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You know? And he was cool. He's a little bit younger than me, and he always had the best fucking coffee. And I was like, man, where you get this coffee from, bro? Your coffee is the shit, you know? Like, I'm drinking this Bright House shit on floor 2. You're on floor 3. Where, you know, he goes, bro, the secret is on 4th floor. That's where all the CEOs are. They got the best coffee. Just take the elevator up, go in, make a cup, get out of there before they see you, you know? So we became friends. Do you know what he was? He was Bright House Network's graphic guy. They're graphic artists. He literally, I would pull up to his desk, bro, and he'd have a Mac with 3 screens here and a PC with 3 screens here, and he would sit all day, bored out of his mind, bro, clicking, making graphics for Bright House. Here's a flyer for the Christmas specials we're putting out. This guy wants a TV commercial to what? Okay, here's the graphic for that. You know, and I asked him one day, and I was like, bro, I said, you're so talented. Why don't you go off and start your own like agency or whatever? He goes, because I can't make as much money as I can here just doing this all day. You know, and I was like, mind if I ask you what you make? He goes, I make $80,000 a year just clicking out simple flyers and graphics for videos for for the company. He goes, with that money, I run my little side hustle. It pays for itself. I'm a happy guy. You know, I got 401k and health benefits, you know, which you won't get as a struggling artist trying to start an agency. You know what I mean? Especially on your own, by yourself, you know. And in Florida, where the only place you could really go is Disney and Universal. Outside of that, who the fuck's going to hire you for any work? You know what I mean? So that was an eye-opener. I was like, wow, okay, here's somebody that is surviving in something they love doing by kind of grinding away for the man, you know, but he makes triple what I'm making. You know what I mean? As an IT guy, you know, he would double or whatever, probably double.
I don't know, man. I'm all about the feels, and just to know that you got like this love, this passion, and it's just like, I'm just here.
I know, bro. I know. I felt for the guy, and that's why I would talk to him. But, you know, you could just see, like, it was one of those, if I left this job today, I would have to be pushing cashier buttons, or I'd have to be hanging clothes on a rack. I'd rather have the tools that I love in front of me. Anytime I need to, I could come to work and bang out my side hustles. You know what I mean? And nobody gives a shit. You know, so I get it. He's, you know, he was younger than me, so he's working his way up to that point. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it was inspiring to see people making it in a business where people like your boy that told you, I got out of it because I realized I couldn't make a lot of money. How many people you know making 80 grand a year right now just pushing out flyers and video graphics? Unless you live in LA, and even those guys aren't making that much money a year, you'd be surprised. A dude that edits a video for a big movie company, and he's just I'm just a graphic guy. He ain't making $40,000 a year. You know, he's getting to go to Hollywood parties. He's getting free kickbacks. Maybe they give him a company car. He could eat on the company. They're paying for his internet, his computers, right? But he ain't making that much money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a struggle.
That kind of brings me back to the whole, you know, what we were talking about before, as far as like how you and we kind of like jump around and stuff, right? I mean, my personal take on it, you know, obviously, like, this is just IMO in my opinion. Excuse me. But dude, for real, like, if you and because I guess the best way to put it is, I've kind of had that conversation with myself here over the past couple of weeks, you know, doing that soul search. I'm like, man, yes, I know a lot of shit I'm proud of, but I got to stick to one thing, because a lot of people out there have just been like, yo, man, you make a lot of good shit, but like, why don't you ever just stick with one thing? And the thing is, going back to your basketball player reference, right? For me, I believe that if, you know, as that basketball player, I start going to the courts, and I start going to the courts regularly, right? And I just, even though, I know how to throw a football real damn good, and I might be able to knock around a golf ball and shit. And on top of that, I know how to make fucking Christmas wreaths really good, whatever the fuck. Right? If I just stayed on one thing and really started like being on the court, eventually get known. And then everything will come into play. All of that knowledge will eventually come through, because even though I agree with a lot of the stuff that you were saying, like, yo, this is the motherfucking beggar around here, and some people may give you some shade, throw some shade at you about, you know, your approach or whatever it is that you're doing. They may get the wrong, and typically it is, they get the wrong idea about you. You're happy about something, and the way there's a little bit of like eagerness and then some desperation sprinkled on top and shit. And And people are like, yo, what the fuck is up with this antsy son of a bitch? And they start fucking shying you away. Eventually, you're going to get to that one person that gets it. And it's just like, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, dude, come on board. And the thing is that that's what I feel about this thing right here that we're doing. I'm happy that I've made the decision to lean away. And if you and I did something like this regularly, I mean, I think that it would be finding ourselves in the company of others that have done this at a higher level, and then we could all throw in all of our skills and knowledge into the same playground and be like, oh, guess what? Now we got like the super crazy evil Death Star Empire and shit going on, and it just winds up being the jump off, and that's how I viewed it as. And yeah, man, I mean, this right here, whether it be live, whether it be pre-recorded, talking about, you know, roasting or the good feels, like in that video, the guy throwing around a football, staying on top, staying on board, stuff like that on a regular, knowing that people are gonna, that they know what they're gonna get. Like, you know, if I tune in at this time and it's really cool, this is what we're gonna be getting all the time. You know, at least something around that.
Sure. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be consistent. Yeah.
And the consistency, because going back to what you said about my videos, it's just like, you remember you had to cut and slice up a lot of my video because I was all over with like, hey, my health, and then I was doing this, and then da 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 da. The consistency is all I'm getting at.
And that's really, you know, that's a struggle, because you're just trying to tell your story, and then once the story's done, you're going to edit it, and now it's hard for you to cut any of it out because it's your story. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I cut that out? And that's where we kind of fail to think the way someone watching me would see me. You know, we're only looking at it through our eyes, like, well, it's beautiful. You know, I'm gorgeous. Look at me. I'm amazing. You know, then someone else looks at it and goes, you're kind of cute, but you could use a shave here. A couple will remove a pimple there and straighten the teeth. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? So, yeah. But I think, you know, and when I did that video, I wanted to do so much more for you. I had a long form version of it that included every single thing you talked about. It just had to be put in the right order, you know? And then I quickly realized that, like, oh, you know what? This may be easier to consume if we just get down to it already and give people what they want, because nobody wants to sit around for too much. You know, like, now you're giving me too much. I came here for this. Now you're going off, you know, like, I came for a sandwich, bro. And now you're giving me fries and soda and chips and dip, and bro, all I wanted was a little salami, cheese, and a bread, you know, like that. Can I, you know what I mean? You know, no, but you need to try it with this and put mustard on it. It's like, no, you know. So I don't know, you know, we suffer from the word excessiveness comes to mind, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, we're excessive.
Yeah, because it comes from look, call it arrogance. I don't give a shit. Man, mindsets, bro. That's what I call it. Our minds are so expansive that, like, it isn't like, you know what? I play video games good all day long, and that's all we do. Our brains are like, it just feels like it being an infinite warehouse, and we just want to keep filling it. And we have so many different forms of passion, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping that my cat doesn't knock over this light. What are you doing, fool? So anyway, if the light out is his damn fault, right? But like I said, the warehouse is so expansive, and we appreciate so much. And the thing is that we have, because of that passion, we want to talk about it all. When you sliced up that video, bro, it like, I heard you when you said it, but when you helped deliver that, I was like, oh. Light went off in the warehouse. Like, okay, all right. Well, my warehouse has all got shit thrown all over the place. I got to go in there and clean house a little bit, mainly organize. This is going to be, you know, the electronic aisle. This is going to be the art aisle. This right here is going to be the comedy aisle or whatever. And bro, when you did that, it defined so much there for me that I needed. Like, wow. And bro, without getting too deep, that's just in creativity, but that actually applied towards a lot of other things that were going on with me, man. So I appreciated that one. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you 100 on that.
Yeah, no doubt. Damn. Well, shit, I think we've been chatting for a while here, man. Let's, what would be a good point to wrap up on? Let's see. I'm thinking in my head, like, all right, well, I'm gonna do like some typical fucking, you know, like job interview type shit. 1 year from now, not 5 years, because everybody goes 5, fuck 5. 1 year from now, where are you right now? Or where are you in 1 year? 1 year from now, meaning in terms of like creativity, you know, not like, oh, I'm working in Saks Fifth Avenue making $100,000 a year, you know, like in terms of your creativity.
I'm a barista at Starbucks, the barista.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you think about it for 20 seconds while I go grab a brew because Frankie's very thirsty right now. So give me like 15 and a half seconds.
I got you. I'm thinking.
All right, I'll be right. Yep, word. Hey, look at that. It's lit. It's lit up in here. Yeah. Oh, I should have had that light on the whole time. It's looking gloomy up in the studio in here. Shit. Yeah, if anybody out there is watching, I have the room unlocked. You guys are more than welcome to come in and join me and Jay for a chat. All you gotta do is hit join, I guess. I don't know. I'm testing this out. I'm used to Zoom, but I'm testing out Facebook's room feature. Instead of Zoom, it's Facebook Room. Get it? Instead of Zoom, it's Room. And yeah, so I unlocked it. Let me double check that. Maybe I didn't because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Right, you go over here, you click on that, and lock room. No, it's unlocked.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we're unlocked. So if anybody wanted to join, they could. There he is. Cheers, my brother. Let me cover the label because we don't want any, we don't want to give any sponsorships away. Cheers, my brother. Here's to you. Tink. One love.
Brought to you by Blank Beer.
Brought to you by Blank Beer. That needs to happen. Blank Beer. See what I'm saying? We're like a marketing department. Hello, anybody out there need a marketing guy or two?
Right?
Like, boy.
Don't use it. Copyright. Instant. But, that question that you asked is really funny because, like I said, it's just been a very soul-searching week. And to keep it brief, I guess if I had to answer that in short, it has to be, I think I found my place of Zen. I've located it, right? And I'm taking steps towards it. And it's the KISS method, keeping it simple, stupid. I want to embrace, like I'm an artist, man, and I want to embrace the childlike feeling of that. And when I got to sketching and everything, I know I've been doing all like other versions of art, but what I realized, I'm like, I kind of did fall off. Buddy, chill. I did fall off.
The kids are like,
right.
Tuck me in bed.
Right. Daddy, I want to be tucked. But I want to get back to the basics because it's like I always equate it to, it's like being a sportsman. Obviously, when you're in sports, there's a reason why you're in it. For most people are going for the lucrative aspect, but really, when you're at your best is when you're enjoying it, when you're really enjoying it. And I feel like I fell off. I just fell off a bit when it comes down to my abilities. Like when I was sketching, I'm having to do a lot more racing. I'm having to think a lot harder, and I've stepped away from that type of art where it was sketching and painting. I used to have such a creative, I don't even know how to put it. I was more imaginative, and everything got so damn technical that that's really what I started to embrace. Even for the, it doesn't help that what I do is all technical too. So I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to start looking for further inspiration. That's why I'm glad we were talking about what you had mentioned earlier as far as roasting artists. But point blank, I want more inspiration. I want to challenge myself by exploring the artwork of others and learning new techniques that would help me with just generally like being a good artist, period. Because that I feel would allow me to grow for any and everything else. Where I see myself in a year, just being feeling the joy and the zen of mastering my art. And that's it. I want to be the very best artist I can be, and I want that to be what is the catalyst and also, what allows me to connect with, latch onto, and then to be the glue of who I connect with out there to better myself as an artist.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of, I want to continue my path, but I also want to start to help others get a light and and shine a light. And I like that approach. You know what I mean? I noticed you were doing it recently on your Instagram. You would share a picture someone else drew, and shout them out and tag them on it. And, this is amazing. Look at what this artist did. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully, like the thing we got to do is the thing you got to start doing is trying to bring like minds around you. And then you guys got to start socializing with each other, and meaning that, if you and I approach a situation, I say, Jay, you make a piece of art, right? I'm going to share it on my page. I saw that, bro. She's hating. She's like, get off the phone with this motherfucker. So, we got to like reciprocate. We'll call it that. We'll call it reciprocating, right? It's like, right. Say you're sharing that piece of art from that guy on DeviantArt. You should try to find the people that are on those networks that will reciprocate yours. So you could say, hey, I'm going to share it on my page. You know what I mean? Would you mind sharing it on yours? We'll do a share for a share. A like for like old school tricks, old school early internet day shit. Like for a like, share for a share, but it works. It's going to be grassroots effort. You're doing it all, manually typing emails to people, trying to friend people, share a few likes, and then ask, hey, you think we can share each other's work? I've been sharing your stuff, or look, I've shared 5 of your pieces, or even better than that is, hey, I got a show with my boy and we like critiquing art. We kind of roast artists. Wouldn't it be dope if you showed up on the show, give us 10 minutes of your time to explain why you do what you do. Maybe tell us about the tools you work with. Jason, you're into that stuff. You could be like, so do you have a T5000 tablet with the 8mm pen and the, or are you just a hand drawn, and the guy will tell you what he does or whatever. The girl say, this is what I do. And then at that point, that's when you solicit them and go, hey, you could come on the show. We talk a little shit. I want to showcase your art on my Instagram page, and you reciprocate because you've been on my show. Those people are more likely to go, yeah, hell yeah, I was on your show. You gave me 10 minutes to talk. You thumbed up a few of my pictures and you shared something on Instagram. Hell yeah, I'll put your picture. I'm going to say, I'm on this show tonight. I'm going to put your logo up, and then I'm going to also post your picture right after it. This was the guy I just spoke to. You could build relationships like that. My big shout out to my Cat Control Radio family. I know some people know I do a podcast. Big shout out to my homie Tavo holding it down. But we took this approach, and it was the weirdest thing because I'm a hip hop head and he's a heavy metal, hardcore rock dude, right? And we put this show together that nobody thought would work. We started to make it work. And in turn, what we really got out of the show was not money. What we got out of the show was a network. It was a who we know now. Now I could walk into like any rock club in Orlando and they're like, yo, Tavo and Never, Cat Control Radio, ha, like we experienced it. We got to a point where we walked up to the front of the club and they opened the gate and they're like, let those two guys through. And we're just handing out stickers like, us? Yeah, you, come on. The band that's headlining tonight says you guys fucking put his song on and you interviewed him and he wants your ass in the front row right now. Okay, like that's where money doesn't matter anymore because now you're building a network. Right. Your network is your net worth. They're gonna bring you money. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get it some other way. So that's an approach maybe we should take with doing. If we do this in the future, maybe we should invite an artist, even if it's somebody we start with people we know. You invite your boy from the group. You tell him, yo, just show off 3 of your 3D prints. We're gonna talk about the kind of machine you use. Frank's gonna ask you a question, and that's it. We'll let you go, and we'll continue the show, that kind of thing. Or you could stay and hang with us and talk shit. Maybe you got some great points. And right. And then your boy's gonna then share that on his Facebook page, and he's gonna be like, yo, I was on, Playing with Strangers with Jay and Frank. I was on Playing with Strangers the other day, and they invited me on and was like, yo, they showcased my pieces, and and maybe he gets nothing out of it, and we get nothing out of it, but we helped each other. We ever need a favor in the future, maybe in a year's time, he gets put on CNN because he's the 3D printing fucking master and they need a clip and he uses a clip from our show. And because of that, now people want to tune into our show because they saw it on CNN. And next thing you know, we go from 100 followers to 100,000, you don't know when it's going to reciprocate, but it will happen. You know what I mean? It will happen. And even if it don't happen, you're helping. You're doing what you want. You said you love helping people that are like-minded. You're getting the love out of it. You're getting to spread your love. You're getting to spread your seed.
Play that shit. Spread that seed, motherfucker. No, but that I like it because you're also talking about, and you know, I don't want to make it all about me, but it's you're talking about challenging myself in areas and aspects that I'm looking for. It's connecting, it's networking. You're right. I'm like, I would rather have a strong network versus a strong account. I don't know. To me, the relationships really matter. And also on top of that, just I told you about the fear of being online, and to bring somebody on the show to get out there and discuss things that are really dear to me and to you, you know what I mean? It really helps with a lot. I could see that. That's something that I know that I would embrace. So yeah, man, you got me on board with that one. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Our plan on that, that's exciting to me. That's a fucking adventure. That to me is what I've been looking for. Brother, when I say this, I mean this 1,000, bro. What you're describing right now, what you've just mentioned and talked about, has been things that I have been just telling people over a few years now, like, this is what I'd like to do. And the opportunity never really presented itself because, you know, hey, look, I could sit there all I want and say, this is what I would like, but the other party's got to feel that shit too. And for you to sit there and you know, bring all this up and discuss what you would elect to be part of, it's crazy because that's exactly what I've been describing. You know what I mean? So,
you know what I think it is? I think it's, what do they call that? Like self-fulfillment or something, or self-fulfilling prophecies, right? I think it's because it's necessary for the kind of business that you're trying to start and run. It's necessary for it to have that, which is why you always, you know, even on your own without anyone's help, we're picking up a camera and trying to share it with the world, you know. It's a necessary thing for you to move to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And I want to help, and I need it for me too. You know, you're helping me by me helping you, you know, because I want to do this. I want to get on these and, you know, and not just get on them, because I could turn the camera on by myself. It's the most boring shit you ever heard in your life, you know, but with the right people, you know what I'm saying? We have these interesting conversations. So here's how I think it might work for us. This is just a thought, because typically when you go in, when you said it yourself, you had what was it? Shitting simply, savagely simple. You know, I don't know what the fuck you said. You had weird.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. So I think we should keep it simple in that. Like if we sit here and try to plan out, you know, it needs to be 45 minutes long. We need to have 2 segments. We need to talk about, you know, one this and one that. You know, I think we need to keep it simple. We need to keep the format of the show needs to be, we go off and talk about what we talk about anyways, because the easiest thing for us to do is do what we did today. Jay, you want to go live? Fuck it, let's go live. Bloop. Oh, wow. You know, now we had the most amazing 1 hour long conversation on earth, you know. I think we can add into that some content for other people, because people may not care that you and I are talking 5 times this week. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, here we go. You know, every Saturday, these fucking guys want to talk to me. You know, instead, we bring a person on, like we talked about earlier, so we could critique their work. You know what I mean? And I think in doing that, we'll network with people, and we'll also get our weekly meetings that we've been having out. And we're not sharing with the world, because you and I have been having this meeting for months now, and we don't share it with anybody. We sit there for an hour. We have the most amazing conversations. We laugh. We cry. We show each other's work. Look, let me share my screen. You know, we have the best time ever, and no one gets to be a part of that. And at the end of it, every time at the end, we both say to each other, damn, maybe we should have gone live. Maybe we should have recorded this. That would have been funny. That was amazing. You know, damn, I wish I would have captured what he said. I wish I could go back. You know, you get what I'm saying? So we'll call it like our boardroom meeting, you know, where we're going to call a meeting once a week. You know, our goal is to do a half hour to an hour. And if we can get somebody to join us, maybe we say we start at 8. We'll invite that person to come on the show by, 8:10, 8:15, so we can get a little warm up in, go over there, over what they got, deal with them for 10 to 20 minutes. You know what I mean? All right, thank you. You can leave now, or you can hang with us. And then we go back into us and we talk shit. We bring up a topic, let that person maybe chime in if they're still there. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good start to something that could be fruitful later. And it will turn from keep it simple, stupid to, okay, now we're getting sophisticated here. Because now, 6 months down the line, now we've got more technology. We've got more people, more guests. We figured out what works for us, what doesn't. We figured out where we're failing, where we're winning. You know what I mean? And I think we can improve it and make it better. Maybe, technology will get better as well. So that could be fun. That could be fun. I know we both got studios, that we can you know, I don't know, we can do something with. So it could be interesting. That would be fun, man, for sure. So maybe that'll be my 1 year from now goal, is to have a second. I don't want to call it a podcast. We'll call it a show. It's a show. It's not a podcast, baby. We're gonna have a second show. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be. What do you think of that title? Playing with Strangers.
I like it. I was like, playing with strangers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When I was talking about like the playground or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And because we're bringing on, and you gotta think we're bringing on guests. So, you know, we do bring a guest on. We're truly playing with a stranger. You know, we're just like, hey, we got Joe here from California. He's a guy that paints, you know, women's tits, and he got a whole Instagram with amazing nipple paintings. You know, like, I don't know. You know, tell us about your job, Joe. You know.
Random on the street, you go on a Pornhub and just start selecting bitches, and, you know what I mean?
He goes, it's real easy. I source all my workers come from Tinder. You're like, what? You just swipe right till you find one that's showing her tits. That's the one. Want to make $50, baby?
The singles.
Amazing, man. You know what's funny, right? I saw this guy on the internet. He talked about how he started a massaging therapy business, right? And they asked him, where do you get your employees from? You know, he goes, I get them all from Tinder and Craigslist. He goes, I literally go to escort services. I go to Tinder. He goes, I find bitches on there that say in their description, give really good massages. We'll massage you all night. I'm a massage therapist. And he's like, I got a chick that will do anything and massage you. You know what I mean? He's like, boom, you know. So sometimes you got to think outside the box. Like, you would normally go to a staffing agency, put out some ads in the newspaper, and hope that, you know, careers.com brings you your new masseuse. When you could just pull open Tinder for free, and there's 1,000 of them right there. I like sucking dick. I give massages. Look at my boobs, you know. And not only that, they're kind of hot. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
how are you losing right now? You know?
Bitch.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Fuck yeah, bro.
Crazy.
So let's set up like a little outline or something. Let's make like I don't know, maybe I'll go in and do a little, let me set it up now. I'll set up a Google Doc, and then I'll share the Google Doc with you, and we'll just call it Playing with Strangers for now. And our first goal is to invite a guest. How does that sound?
That sounds really good. Invite a guest. And I think I think I know one of the thing. I think a couple of people that would probably jump on board for something like that. But if not, you know, I'll definitely brave it out and go onto those places that, you know, that I visit. You know, whether it be DeviantArt, Procreate, or whatever, and try to communicate with someone like, hey, you know, I'm trying to drop this thing here for, you know, creatives and stuff. You know what I mean? Playing with people. I'm sure they're gonna be like, oh my god, that sounds freaky. But you know, I want to do that. You know what I mean? I'll definitely jump on that with trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? If there's anything that you've got, anyone that you could think of, you know, let me know. You know what I mean? You know how it is with me. I never try to just grab the steering wheel on any occasion. I'm a team player, so. But I've got some ideas. You know?
Cool.
But this is.
We're gonna invite a guest to talk about art, like music. I put art first, but art, music, and etc. You know, it could be whatever. It don't have to be only art. It could be whatever, as long as it's, you know, in the realm of art.
Right.
You know? And then we're gonna roasting. You know, like crack jokes on art. You know, good or bad. It could be that's amazing, or it could be oh my god. You know, like just oh my god, I wouldn't show this to my kids. You know, like I don't know, we just get stupid with it and. Crack on, you know, we crack on the artwork. Our art world will snap on the art world, you know.
Yeah.
Hosting art, hosting videos.
You get famous. I'm just kidding.
Say again. I couldn't hear you, man. I was typing, man.
I was like, with anything in business in Hollywood, it's like somebody got to get hurt in order for us to get famous. Come on.
You know what? I'm putting that in the timeline. Somebody's got to get hurt. That's great. Hey, you never know. Maybe we'll animate a little character, and he'll be our little like intro, and he gets fucked up. Like he comes out all cool, and it's like a brick just lands on him, and it's like playing with strangers. You know what I mean? With Jay and Frank.
You say that because there's a new animation feature in Procreate on my iPad I've been wanting to fuck with.
There you go. There you go. Look at that. See, it's meant to be, bro. That's fate talking to us.
Yes, sir.
That is fate. All right, so let's see if I can share this with you before we end this chat here. Just so that, because I, if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. It'll be 3 months will go by, and I'll be like, Jason, can I send you the timeline? All right. I have a small problem, sir. You have 3 potential emails I can send to.
Please, by all means, do you happen to have my I'll send that to you right now.
Well, I'll tell you what I have. I have Jason. I don't want to say it because we're live, but I have your first name,
the Monarch
last name 77 at Gmail. Then I have first name, last name Koenig at gmail.com. Then I have Jace.photography and design at Gmail. Damn, bro. None of these are good.
Bro, I got mad emails for like
What are you running from, bro?
Everyone always asks that. There's something going on. You some kind of like international criminal and
what the hell's going on, Jay? Is there something you should tell me before I get into business with you?
Here we go.
You know what's funny too is that you have multiple emails here and they're all Gmail. It's not like it's different services. It's like I'm leaving the internet, but I'm not,
Bro, the CEOs, whoever be running over there, that department for like Gmail, they must be like, what the fuck?
They'd be like, yo, what is this guy doing?
Yo, what is he trying to do? All right, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. And Shazam! I just sent it your way.
Thank you, sir. Oh wow, all kinds of new things with you, huh? Wow, moving up here.
That's one that I know I will stay on top of for all time.
Wow. Okay. Hey, big dog. Hey, got his own freaking domain name and everything. Holy shit. Moving up in the world, big dog.
I'm trying. That whole $5.99 a month to be making a motherfucker look professional.
Hostdaddy.com. I'm a #1 customer.
Hostdaddy.
All right, so here we go. I'm sending it to you now. Hopefully you get it. It's the most basic thing ever, but it will get better, Yeah,
of course. We just pulled this out the sky right now, man. So I feel you. Expand. Yeah, this definitely be fun. And just so you know, too, I mean, I'm. Let me see here. Well, I'm going to be doing this whole, like my sketches, my art pieces or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm actually working with my cousin on a couple of things. And I'm not going to, mention or talk about it here right now. I know we're about to end this chat or whatever, but, I'm let's just say my output will be regular. You know what I mean? If that is any inclination towards, what's going on here. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, me too, man. This is going to rekindle something in me too, because I've been dying. I'm literally like eyeing the studio lately. I got all these, my big shout out to Dean, DJ Rod Uno. He's been getting me a lot of like things from the movies, like Hot Wheels from the movies. Like Jurassic Park, whatever. And you got like the Star Wars shit. And I got a ton of them, but I got the Batmobile and so I'm trying to like get the studio right so I could put up. I don't know if you guys probably can't see it, but back there's like Goku and Darth Vader and a bunch of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I got all kinds of shit back there, man. So I'm trying to get the studio right and make it look beautiful back there. So when I do this, I don't look like I'm at a crack spot, Like, yo, man, I need some help, please, man. I'm only sending you a live video because I need help, man. They got me hostage here, man. Please, man, please. You know what I'm saying? I need to get out of this rut.
I love your hostage situation in the closet. I know what you're talking about, bro. I was working on moving stuff around here earlier today. Like, yeah, we need better backdrops. This is not looking great. Everything's like, it looks like a order, bro. I swear.
You know what you look like, right? You look like you're on a private jet right now. You got the leather chair behind you with like the white behind you. All you got to do is like right to the left over here. We paint like a window with an outside window with the sky and everything, bro. That's it. Done, bro. Yep, done. That's how we start every show. Yeah. Oh, Jay, where are you flying to today? Well, I'm over Barbados. You know, Barbados, my living room. Shit.
Right. Shit.
Cool,
If
man.
that level one day, right? Like live from Romania. But,
live from Romania. We got like these sexy little Romanian midgets that like bring us our beers and shit. Come on, Mikchev. Let's go, Mikchev. Bring me beer.
Right? High five, Mikchev. Oh.
Damn, cousin. Dude. That's it. We just the show's over already, bro. That's what they're gonna shut us down, man. We're gonna have like midget hate groups trying to shut us down. You know, these guys are assholes. I hate them.
Like these guys are just saying bitches and stuff, referring to women fucking midgets and stuff. High five jokes are not cool.
That's not funny. Shit, man.
All right,
brother, man. So I guess we'll call it a wrap. Good show today.
It was really fun. Glad you made this made this possible, bro. So
hey, I couldn't have done it without you, my man, for sure. Partners in crime since high school, you know. So we got to keep going. Yes, and I'll keep in touch, and please don't have too much fun. I saw you earlier petting your pussy, and you know, I just want to make sure you're gonna be all right. It seems like you're gonna be. Hey, at least you got something tonight, you know. So,
yo, some things just never change.
All right, brother, man. I will catch you on the deuces. Feel free to add anything you want to that thing. Like you get an idea, just add it in, bro. Just lump it in there. I don't care if it's sloppy, if it don't make sense. We'll make sense out of it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a Jason section for you.
Please. That sounds really good.
It's just gonna say Jason here. You could call it whatever you want. And I'm just gonna highlight it. So we'll do like what I used to do with my boy Tavo. We do 2 different colors. We would do, you know, I'll be blue, you be red or something, you know. So anything you do is in red. Anything I do is in blue. This way we don't, you know, step on each other's toes.
Yeah. Keep everything. Yeah, that sounds really, really. Are you sending it? You're sending it by the way of email, or are you messaging that over on Messenger? Just want to make sure.
It's on email. It's, you know, it's a Google Doc. So as long as you have a Gmail account, you can access that.
All right. Because I'm looking for it right now, and I was not seeing it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, let me. Do you still have access to any of those Gmail addresses that you had?
Well, before we carry on to that, where would I see it? Would it be in the form of email? Is how you're sending it, or?
Yeah, it's gonna come in an email. That's right.
Right. Email. So I click on the email and I click on my Gmail. Okay, I don't.
Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna force you to log into your Google account. Do you have any you still have any access?
The whole G Suite, bro. So I should be. Yeah. That's why I didn't know if I needed to go to Google Drive, or you know what I mean. I didn't know if there was.
So let me ask you this: which Gmail are you logging in with for your G Suite stuff?
That's it. The Jais Monarch world.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So I sent it there. You should get it there then. Yeah.
All right. Well. If anything, we'll worry about the technical aspects here. I'll just message you whatever, bro. Bro, big ups, man. Thank you so much, bro. It was a great chat. And I'm looking forward to doing this here again soon, bro.
All right, brother, man. I'm going to send you the link in the instant messenger we were talking on before. I'll leave you with that. This way it's just in case. You got it. I'm putting it in right now. Off it goes. All right, brother, man. Enjoy your Saturday. I love you, man. Keep your head up. And I'm going to try to keep mine up.
One.
Peace, brother. One love. I'm out.